Hey, I'm Aaron with Seattle Piano Company, and today we're going to take a look at some of the projects we have in our workshop. The closest one to us is one that we're kind of on the cusp of finishing. This is a Mason and Hamlin Model A. This one had really good bones, so it's actually it's turning around really quickly, and it's responding really well to our refurbishing process. So we've completely disassembled the piano down to just down to the bare bones, and now we're going through and we're cleaning up all the strings and all the brass hardware, that sort of thing. And we're doing some work to the finish as well. Here's the hardware that Sean's working on right now. So over the years, brass just kind of like tarnishes, and there's kind of like signs of oxidation and some other unsightly things, but we go through it and we're resatinizing it. It's coming out to look brand new, so this is going to look great when it goes back on the lid. And then with the lid and some of the other parts, I'm actually working on them in here in our workshop. And so a lot of times on our website, like in the descriptions and stuff, it'll talk about how hand rub satin finish. And so this is what we're talking about. So this is on that Mason. So this was always a satin piano, but over the years, like you get like little, I don't know, imperfections in the satin. So just even like your thumbnail, really. I mean, lacquer is not the hardest surface in the world. So just, like fingernail scratches, like on the fall board especially, or, if people put like Christmas decorations on the piano, that sort of thing, it creates these scratches in the finish and it goes against the grain of the satin. So what we do is we want to get those, we want to get all those imperfections out of there. And so a way that we can do that is we can actually hand rub the satin lines back into the finish. And so the way I'm achieving that, and there's a few different ways to do it. We have some different gauges of steel wool. This is actually a higher gauge of steel wool that I even knew existed until pretty recently. We're trying it out and it's working awesome. But we have this and then like some automotive grade refinishing steel wool. And we go and we hand rub the scratches back into the piano. So, we're just doing these really fine micro scratches back into it. And there's like a total method to it, and it's like it's almost like you feel like you can kind of zone out a little bit and just kind of like just rubbing the lines into the finish, but it like it starts to do this thing where it starts to like kind of like zebra stripe a little bit. So I mean, you really have to be on it to get like a really smooth and consistent rub throughout the lid. So you have to be very aware of what you're doing while you're doing it. I mean, sometimes I'll kind of shift my weight to the left or shift it to the right, or I'll kind of change like the direction that the pattern's going, just to kind of get that consistency throughout the finish. But in any case, again, this was a really great base to work with, so the finish is going to come out awesome. This is going to be a really great piano. So watch for this on our website. It should be coming up pretty shortly. Let's see what else we have going on. This one I think we've gone over in other videos, but this is one of the more I don't know, surprising or rewarding projects that we've done in a while. This is a 1967 Kawai that we got locally here. These keys are ivory, and when we got it, man, it looked like a piano that had been smoking cigarettes for the last 50 years. I mean, it's just like they were just very, very yellow. And it wasn't due to nicotine. It's just, that's kind of one of the characteristics behind ivory. Ivory yellows. It's just, it just happens regardless of what environment that it's in. I think it happens a lot of the time when the lid is closed. The UV lights and sunlight actually help to bleach and keep the ivories white, but I think the piano owner, the people that had this piano previous to us, they really cherished this thing. So I bet that they kept the lid closed whenever they weren't using it, and that kind of aided in that yellowing process that happened. But anyway, we were able to bleach them back to this really nice, brilliant white. It looks brand new. It looks awesome. And why I was saying it was like a very rewarding project is like when you look on the inside, I mean, there's no part of this looks like it's from 1967. Every bit of this piano just responded so well to our refurbishing procedure, and it's really, we're good at what we do, and we have some pride behind it. But I mean, really, it's the materials and design and quality of this instrument just really is shining through. So we did our part, but Kawai definitely did their part in the initial build. So this thing is sounding and playing awesome. The original action components on the inside of the piano, they look every bit as good as the cabinet and the inside of the piano. I mean, it's like a time capsule. It just stayed really well preserved. So this is the goal. We want like all of our stuff to turn out at least this nice. All right, so we got this guy, and then we have a really cool Steinway we're working on right now too. This is a Steinway Model M. And we don't do a ton of Steinways, but we're starting to do them a little bit more here. This is a Steinway Model M. And so this one is from I think it might be right at 1960. So again, we've gone through and done a ton of work on the inside to kind of get it back to scratch, back up to scratch. And it's polished out all the tuning pins and the strings and cleaned up the plate, cleaned the soundboard, all that stuff. So the inside's starting to come around and look really nice. We're gonna do the same thing to the hardware and the finish on this that we did to, or are currently doing to the Mason and Hamlin that we looked at. For a 1960s Steinway, and so like 1950s to 1970s, if you're looking at a Steinway kind of within that era, you really have to be cognizant of this issue that these pianos have. And the issue is a Steinway design flaw. We'll see if we can get the camera in as close as we can, but this white circle that's around this metal pin right there, that's called a bushing, and in this instance they used a material called Teflon. Traditionally it's made of felt, but felt can wear and can cause a loose hammer shank, and so Steinway thought about using Teflon to kind of remedy that, and it's a really good idea, but what happens is the wood expands and contracts at a rate that the Teflon doesn't expand to. It doesn't expand or contract at all, so then you get clicking hammers and all kinds of issues. So there's, let's see, I think just one hammer missing right now. I've taken that off, taken some measurements, and we've actually sent out all of the info for the measurements of this piano to Renner USA. Renner is a really high-end action parts manufacturer. It's what Steinway in Germany uses exclusively. So pretty shortly, we're going to have all of these parts replaced with German Renner Steinway parts. So this one's coming around. It's just going to take a little bit of love to get it there, but having a new action and new hammers and a Steinway is going to be a really good thing. All right, so this one's kind of just hanging out for now. We're waiting on parts. What else have we got going on? Oh, we have another Steinway actually that I'm really stoked about this one. So Steinway's, and I'll share this with any customer. This isn't a secret, but with Steinway's emphasis really was on their larger grand pianos. This upright, I mean, if you put like a full-size Yamaha right next to it. I mean, this piano's on a dolly, so it looks tall right now, but this is like a 40-inch tall piano. You put one of our Yamaha U3s next to it. I mean, the Yamaha U3 is going to outperform this piano. I mean, there's no question. I don't know who would really dispute that. I mean, I know it's a Steinway on it, but it's, this is not a race car, So the performance of this is great for someone with the playing abilities like myself. I'm not a great player. This is plenty of piano for me, but again, it's a Steinway, but it's not like a high performance piano. But what it is a really cool looking piano. So it has this awesome chrome hardware, these tapered legs right here. This is a really, really cool mid-century looking piece. It was sold by Sherman Clay. There's the Sherman Clay water transfer decal on the fall board still. So Sherman Clay was a piano store in downtown Seattle for several decades. So this piano's been here since I think this is a 1960 model. So I mean, it's been here for a really long time. This one does not have the Teflon parts, thankfully. So as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff missing inside of this. So one thing, as far as like the resonance and strings and them needing to be replaced and whatnot, the bass strings kind of go first. They kind of lose their resonance and their tone. In the case of this one though, the bass string still sounded pretty good, but it was missing one. So we could have just ordered one string to kind of to complete the set, but there's no guarantee that the tonality of that new string was going to match the others. In fact, it wouldn't, and like how noticeable it was going to be, I don't know. It was a good excuse to throw new bass strings on here. So the bass presence in this is going to sound awesome. The front panel is over at our refinishers right now. So when that's done, I think everything's going to happen at once. I think we're going to get our brand new sharps, our bass strings, and our newly refurbished cabinet parts kind of coming all at the same time. So this would be another one to watch out for. I would actually, my piano is this like cool mid-century old Yamaha that I haven't taken home yet. I need to take it home. But if it wasn't that one, if that one had never appeared, this would certainly be a piano that I would love to take to my house. So it's a rare one, and I think that we're going to make a really nice instrument out of it. So other than that, We have another couple of Yamahas over here that are kind of in various states of being worked on. So this one's getting brand new key tops, and also it's having some parts refinished. They had kind of sun faded a little bit and it just looked weird. So the P22 is a favorite model of mine. I really like the cabinet. It's a really robust piano. This is like meant to be played in and day out. This is a great teacher piano. So this one will be ready shortly. And then this guy, kind of same deal. This one's getting new key tops. I think bass strings on this, just like that Steinway. This one had the same thing going on where it had like a couple busted ones, and so we're just gonna do the whole set. So this one's gonna get brand new tuning pins, bushings, bass strings. We may even do hammers on this one, and hopefully the cabinet parts will be done shortly so we can have this one available for sale as well. And I think for the moment, I think that's pretty much it. We have this Yamaha C3 back here that's a player piano. It's a disc clavier, which is Yamaha's proprietary player system. This is a Model C3. One of our favorite grand pianos is the Model C3. We try to have as many of them as we can. Cool thing about this one is it's a little bit newer. I think this is a 2005 model. It cleaned up really nicely. We're down to just doing a final regulation and a tuning on this guy. So we've gone through and done a ton of cabinet work and interior work on it. So it's looking like a new piano. The other cool thing about this disc clavier system is you're going to be able to access the music library and be able to pick what song you want the piano to play just right off your phone. So it's going to be a total wireless Bluetooth system. So this one will be available here hopefully in the next week or so. We're kind of on the home stretch. And so I think that's about it for right now. I could probably ramble on about some other random stuff that we have going on, but yeah, lots of really nice stuff right now. Lots of stuff that'll be ready here in the next week or so. If you have any questions about any of the pianos that you've seen, go ahead and give me a shout. All my info's on the website. I'm Aaron. Thanks a lot for watching.